What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more Surviving with Thermal expansion. Now, unfortunately, today's episode is going to be the last one in the series. We're going to be doing the sort of world tour and wrap up. I know I've been trying to give you guys heads up that it will be coming to a conclusion very soon. I've pretty much said for the last 3 or 4 videos that we were sort of nearing the end, going over more random machines each time, and while there are still a couple machines left, they're very, very simple ones that you can't do anything special with. You can maybe repair items or, combine nuggets into an ingot or something using a machine, but nothing super fancy that would warrant a video. And so, as always, if you ever are using those machines and you have questions on them and you can't figure it out on the internet, always feel free to post those on the comments on any of my videos, and I will do my best to help you out, because I know that we can't always cover everything in each one of these series and still have everyone enjoying it. With that said, though, before we jump into the world tour and all that good stuff, I do want to go over the most important things, and we're going to go inside so that I don't die. We'll actually sleep first so that nothing kills me in the last episode, because that'd be pretty rough. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing through with this mod. It's one of the first times that I've actually made and finished a home. If we take a quick look at it right now, I finally put the roof on. I think it looks really nice. There are a couple things that I could have added some more details to. The roof was kind of a rush job, but other than that, I really like the way it turned out. And all in all, I think it was a super fun series. The mod gave me some serious nostalgia to play through with, and it was nice that we got regular updates where, certain things were added. We got the gasoline and the refined fuel stuff, all that added partway through, so that was nice. Definitely would recommend this if you guys have not played with it yet. But something that I want to ask you guys, and I know I say this in every single video that we do for a series wrap up, is please post in the comments what mod you would like to see next. You can post multiple mods, you can post one, you can upvote comments if they're already there, or post duplicate comments. To me, it does not matter. I just want you all to voice your opinions. And the reason that I always say, please, if you don't comment or like or dislike any of my videos, you just watch them for the info. If you ever plan on commenting on one, please comment on this one, because this is what's going to determine what you will be seeing on my channel for months to come. And so I definitely want to make sure that when I pick the mod, which is heavily based off the comments you guys give me, that it's going to be something that we can all enjoy, and it won't be something that people get bored with super fast. I just want to be able to help you guys and put out some fun content. So please, go right now. I know you got a mod in mind right now that you want to see. You've probably asked me before, but if there's any time to ask me again, it is in the comments of this video. So go post right now. Just pause the video if you don't want to miss anything, and go post what mod you want to see, or upvote one, or do whatever. But thank you guys, as always, for, helping me with that. We always get great responses, so just in advance, thank you. So now that we got that out of the way, it is time to, an Enderman. I haven't even fought one of those this entire series, but it is time to do the world tour. So we might as well start outside. And this right here is probably one of the more interesting early game power setups I've ever worked with. These Arboreal Extractors are super powerful in that they just passively run, and they will pull this resin from the tree, and you can have 4 of them on it at once. And then we were using that in a steam dynamo with rosin. We had a pretty big setup. We had a fractionating still, which would take the resin, turn it into rosin, and then that would be used in the steam dynamo, combined with water to make some steam and energy. We ended up starting with just energy, and then we started using a steam dynamo with a compression dynamo, I think. I haven't messed around with this in forever, but it was basically that we wanted to start generating steam, and so we did that after we initially started with power, because the steam is more efficient than just generating power, but it's also a little bit more complicated. So yeah, so here we have an actual steam dynamo too, and oh, that's what it was. So it's because when this runs, you do get some, what are the recipes? So you get some tree oil, which I believe we could use in the compression dynamo, and both of those could go into the steam dynamo to help generate energy. So that's that setup. It's been so long since I've worked with that I honestly couldn't even remember how we had set it up, but it was really effective early game at getting us power, which was great. Now, another setup that we used for power, and I know a ton of these are used for power, but this one was actually one of the funnier ones, but less effective ones, which was the numismatic dynamo, which we used currency to get power from. And to get the currency, we made an iron golem farm, which I've actually never done before, and with good reason, because it was a pain in the butt to get these guys over here. I still have most of the minecart track that brought them over here, and it wasn't super far of a journey. Ooh, You know what? Let's just kill this guy for old time's sake. It wasn't super far of a journey. It was kind of up there and then take a right. But I brought them back, and then there was that awful episode of setting this up. And then finally, down at the bottom here, we converted them into coins using the compactor with, I believe, an augment. Yeah, the numismatic press. And then we had the numismatic dynamo, which I didn't think was super effective. Each ingot would give you less than 100k. So maybe if you were able to make like the most efficient iron golem farm ever, it would be great. But yeah, I didn't think it was super great, but still a fun thing to set up because I've never done it before. Then let's go inside because this is where most of the stuff is. So this was one of the later things that we set up. It was another power generation setup, but I actually never used it for power because it wasn't fully automatable. Obviously, if you had other mods, it would be, but the whole idea is that you would throw in, I believe, we would throw in coal and whatnot, and we would end up getting out this refined fuel. It would kind of go around this way in the process, and we would get some sulfur, and what was this stuff? Tar. Who doesn't want that? But we would get refined fuel in the end, and we got to use some of the reflux column augments, which was pretty cool. I always loved using the specialization ones, but this is actually really efficient fuel. But again, like I said, we couldn't automate it, so if I ever needed a quick burst of power, I could put this into a generator, but I just thought it'd be fun to set this up and kind of show you guys how that worked. This was actually one of the more useful things that I set up, and this was going to be our automated fishing setup, which would cook the cookable fish. So we got the regular cooked fish, and then we got the cooked salmon here, and then we've got the raw salmon, which should be... Oh wait, there should be something else that goes here. What? Is there something else that should go there? I feel like there is from our setup. Maybe I'm just forgetting. I never fish, so I don't know. But and then we've got the puffer fish, which we wouldn't really use for anything. I think they're used for potions. I have no clue. Honestly, I've never touched those. But this setup was actually really nice. I could get cooked fish, and we'll actually eat one now because we can. But yeah, I like that. Nothing too complicated, but definitely nice. Then over here we have our ore processing setup, which was really nice, getting some rich slag, and we had our induction smelter, pulverizer, and igneous extruder. And so you would get cobblestone from this, and then that would be turned into sand, and then that would be put in the induction smelter so that you could get the slag out from it. So if you just threw anything in there, let's go all the way to, well, I guess you come back here and you throw, some iron in there, you could get, slag from it. So that was definitely a nice setup to have, especially early on. Obviously, you start out and you don't really have the induction smelter to use, but I actually enjoyed setting this up early on and getting to expand upon it. Never really put any augments in these, but there weren't any fancy ones for it. And then over here, we've just got the random machines, the energetic infuser, compactor, magma crucible, and fluid transposer. Most of these, I don't even think I really went over. I think we just kind of had to use them for crafting. But it's still useful. I thought there would have been more of these, but honestly, there aren't too many random machines in thermal expansion. Over here is the Grassoline setup, and you don't get to see the full thing. We do have the farm outside that I will go take a look at. It is a cactus farm, as you guys know if you saw my industrial craft series. I love the cactus farms. Nothing too big, but it was kind of a proof of concept thing where you could go much bigger and put walls on it and stuff, so this doesn't happen right here. But it worked out actually pretty well. It gets Grassoline for every 4 cactus that go in there, or cacti that go in there. It will process them, you'll get some Grassoline, and that is actually what is powering the base right now. Shouldn't have done that, but yeah, so that's what's powering the base right now. So it's going to go, if we go, I think it's like on one of the last pages in here. Where is it? I just want to see what it's called. Yeah, so it makes pulped biomass, and then that should go in the magma crucible, and that will go and eventually become Grassoline, which is being processed, I believe, below here right now. Yeah, so it goes in as biocrude, and it should make Grassoline, which is going to some form of Dynamo, I believe, under all of this right now, and is powering most of the base. Then we have what I would consider to be the proudest achievement I have in this series, and probably the most useful and fun one to set up. Obviously, it looks really, really cool, which is a plus, because who doesn't love having a wall that is one big automated machine? But it used a lot of different things, automated crafting, a lot of different machines that, we touched on before, like the pulverizers and whatnot. But it also was able to use the energetic infusers and, phytogenic insulator, and this is what it was mainly based around. But it's essentially an infinite loop that you are going to put power into and be able to make fluxed phytogrow. And fluxed phytogrow is super useful, pretty much, whenever you're doing any farming. So if you wanted to make an automated setup for pretty much anything that you could farm, you could put that into the phytogenic insulator and get it. So if you wanted, wood or anything, and we can get, excess wood from this, obviously, because you can see there is a huge backup of it, but it's definitely super useful to have. And the reason that this stopped running is actually because there was too much charcoal and slag in here, and I believe if we take one of these out, it might be able to fill in. No, okay, well, it needs niter, which we should have some of. Yeah, so this process has stopped running because there's a whole backup. So there needs to be a better way of allocating space in here so that I can make sure that it doesn't overflow. But I thought this was a really cool setup. We never really used the Flux Phytogro for anything, but you guys can decide to use that if you make this setup on whatever you want. So I was really happy with how this turned out, and that is what the trees outside are for. You do need the resin that we're getting from these, or the sap that we're getting from these, so it's being pumped underground into the base and put into, I want to say, this one right here. Yeah, the fluid transposer, and I don't know why is there cobblestone there? That is super weird. I don't know what we're trying to transpose it into, but I also don't know why there's cobblestone there. That's super weird. What were we trying to transpose it into? What are the uses on this thing? Okay, well there's... Okay, so something's supposed to be in there, and it's not supposed to be that. So something must have gotten messed up when I went to do a power setup, but I'm trying to figure out what we would need to use this for. But unfortunately, we can't really easily see what these recipes are supposed to be because there are 234 of them. So... yeah, if you're trying to figure out, what that was supposed to be for, maybe you guys would know. I can't remember for the life of me. There's no upgrades in here that might indicate it, so... what is this? Okay, so which side? This is going to bother me. So it's supposed to go out here and go into the energetic infuser. Oh, so this is supposed to be making the rich Phytogro. So it's probably supposed to be coming from here. The Phytogro will come from here. This makes the rich Phytogro, which goes in here. It makes the flux Phytogro. Okay, so that's what it is, and I guess we probably don't have on there we probably don't have a filter on there, which we might need. But I really like that setup, barring the fact that it might be broken right now, unfortunately. But then I think one of the last things is we're going to take a look at this mob farm. It's a 3-layer mob farm just from Etho's really old design that will prevent Enderman and spiders from spawning with, like, I want to say like 16 pads on each floor with 8 spawning spaces. So nothing super fancy, but it did the job well enough, and those guys ended up being brought downstairs where the last of the setups were. And I know I didn't cover this up like I said I would, or replace the cobblestone, but the mobs come down here, they get trapped by the creature encapsulator, and then they go into the centrifugal separator, which has the augment that will kill them. You can see that we got a creeper in there. So it just captures them, brings them over, and then we are able to get the drops and the essence from them. And then we have the drops in here. And then in the essence goes over here to the arcane ensorcellator, which allows us to make enchanted books based on what recipe we put in. And then we can combine those to make different levels. So you can see this one keeps making efficiency 1. And so I wonder if we finally have enough to make efficiency 2. And then we can, you know what, I don't think we will. Because we're going to make an efficiency 2 and an efficiency 2. Combine those to an efficiency 3. Combine those to an efficiency 4. But unfortunately, I do not think we have enough for efficiency 5. So yeah, there's no way that we would, unfortunately. So we're a little bit low on Essence of Knowledge. I haven't spent enough time on here AFKing since we set that up. But it's looking like we may have to just throw this on there. So we'll finally put our efficiency 4 on this pickaxe. It's wicked fast. Well, I guess if we turn on... is that the control V? Yeah, so it's nice. It's a little sped up, and you can dig in a bigger area. But I'm going to, fill that up because I don't want to destroy this in case you do all want to download the world. But I think that's actually pretty much it. That covers the 17 or 18 episode series. I really enjoyed the series. Guys, it was probably one of the more enjoyable ones that I've done in a while, just because it gave me some serious nostalgia playing with it, and the sheer amount of automated builds that we were able to do, the bigger ones, I definitely thought that was fun. So hopefully you all enjoyed the series, and hopefully you will comment some recommendations for future series so that we can all enjoy what we're going to be doing next together. Now, some things to keep in mind: I know a lot of you enjoy the Buildcraft one, and as I always say, the Buildcraft one will be continuing, but we're going to keep 2 going at the same time because the creator of Buildcraft is a very busy person. And so he is trying to port the robots to the most recent update, and that is a pretty lengthy process. And so while he goes and does that, we don't have a ton of content to mess around with. We've done some of the bigger automation things, and so rather than just put out awful content, I'd rather put out a different series and save the Buildcraft one until the update comes out. I don't know how long it will be from now. I know when we started the series, it was, a couple months. But obviously, if they ran into some trouble or anything like that, then it could be any amount of time. So instead of just waiting around and putting out no videos, we're going to start a new series, and hopefully we'll be able to run some Buildcraft along with it. And eventually we will get the robots going in there, and that will be, pretty much the big pop off for that series. And then we can make a ton of episodes there too. So do not worry about that. We will get to that. But last thing I'm going to say before we sign off for the day, go into the comments. If you're going to do it ever, mobile, computer, if you're watching this on the TV, go into the comments somehow and post or like or do whatever so that I know what you guys want to see. Thank you again for commenting in advance before I even read it. I really appreciate you guys always giving so much great feedback. Let me know if you enjoyed the series, if you played along with me, and the links will pretty much always be in the description for this. There should be, eventually, it might not be right away, but within a week there should be the world file uploaded there so you can download it and play along. And that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Hopefully you enjoyed the series. And thanks for watching.
Standing in a glass bowl at the end of a black hole, cold, lost and upside down. Faces swirling past me, all my memories rolling vastly.